Hey, what is up, YouTube? How you doing? This is Dave here. We're back for another installment here in the garage. We're going to be working on the 84 Cutlass. I'm hoping to get the trans lines done today, get them buttoned up, get them under the car, get everything hooked up to the transcooler, which is back underneath the trunk. Also going to try to get some of these steering parts put in. I have that Jeep steering shaft that I mentioned before, that Jeep Cherokee steering shaft in an earlier video. And also have just like the various lines that run to the pump and the reservoir, which I actually haven't figured out what I'm doing for the reservoir yet. So I may be able to figure out some sort of remote mount for that, but let's just start buttoning things up, man. I want to drive this thing, all right? Stay tuned. Thanks. All right, guys, as you can see, I am stuck here underneath the trunk of the car. Good news is one of the lines are in, and hopefully you're not getting demolished by the drop light. But and then if you take it around here, you can see how I route it up and over the cross member. And then what we'll do is, and I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see this, but we'll bring it down and underneath here, and then you might be able to see, you can see it along the frame rail there. Let's move over and get under the car. You can see the rest of the length. All right, guys, I apologize to the shadows here, but you can see now we're repositioned underneath the car, and you can see how I'm running it up and along the frame rail here, and you can see some like massive shadows there. But oh my goodness, let's see if we can get a little bit of light on the business. So you can see running all the fuel lines and everything. Fuel lines and the trans lines I actually bring down and bring through the cross member, through the frame, and then I bring it up, and it this is going to be rough on the eyes, but I apologize. Here we go. So you can see how the line gets put up into the transmission. You see there, you can see like what looks like electrical tape. That's what I use to hold the braided steel lines from flaring up all over the place, because for some reason I don't have these with the larger side, but the 6AN lines just like explode when you cut them. The braiding just falls apart. So I have that up in there. That's all tightened up. It runs in over the cross member, runs into the frame rail, and then you can see it's got plenty of room to the header there, so I'm not worried about any type of burning. Okay, so good news and bad news. Good news, one of the lines in, everything's secured really nice for the transmission. Bad news is I ran out of line. I bought 20 feet of line, and I could have sworn that I bought enough for it, but apparently not enough. So now I'm going to buy another 20 feet of line just to have some extra, because I'm not going to splice pieces together. That just doesn't make sense. But for now, that first line's in. I'll have to purchase some more. So let's come around the car here, and we're using the ultra low tech today. I'm gonna just kind of start hitting a bunch of things at once. So I started putting the power steering line in, and you can barely see it in here, but I'm gonna clear out everything. I'm actually using a C5 Corvette, and what I'll do is I'll loosen this so you guys can take a look here. And beautiful. Well, so you can see way down there on the floor. You moron! All right, guys, take two. Sorry for dropping that thing. A little bit of cameraman error, trying to do too many things at once. But what I was actually going for was this. This is actually a C5 Corvette power steering line, and it's the high pressure line. There's a good thing about working on G bodies is they already converted over to the metric, so you have the metric O-ring fitting, and then this screws right into the power steering pump, which is also a C5 on this car, if you remember from my earlier videos. So this fitting will screw right down into the current power steering box. This will go right into the pump. I'm actually going to remove some stuff just to get some things out of the way so that you can actually see down in there. So for right now, let me just disconnect my mass sensor, and it's been a while, so I'm not 100% sure I'm going to do this right. Oh boy. Well, let's do this. Let's loosen this guy up first, because I'm not 100% sure. There we go. Get that out of the way. Let's pull this guy out so we can actually see, because I don't even think, actually, you know what, I won't even need to. Okay, but that's what you do. You just press it down. Okay. Well, I don't need to do that, so I'm just going to kind of lean this bad boy out of the way, because I don't want to screw with that, and that's out of the way. And then what I'll do is let me grab the camera, I'll bring it back over here, and you know what I might do? Yeah, let me shut her down, grab the camera, bring her back over. Okay, so this is just to give you a little bit better perspective on the power steering pump. Boom, fits in very nicely. And then if we can come in under here without getting too much shadow action here, you can see how the line comes in on this side and screws into the bottom of the power steering pump, which is basically right behind that pulley right there and down underneath there. So I apologize if you're getting a lot of glare. The lighting isn't fantastic in here, and I think what that just means for me is that it might be time to go and get myself some LEDs. Okay, guys, so here's what we got going on here. I actually have the return line in place. This is actually from either a C5 or C6. I'm not 100% sure. It is a power steering cooler line, and what I'm able to do is once you tighten it in here, you can kind of, since it's steel lines, you know, obviously, you can bend it a bit. So what I'm actually going to end up doing is reshaping this line by, you know, manipulating the steel down, and I'm going to mount it to the bottom of the radiator core support there. It actually comes with its own mounting tabs. So what it'll allow me to do is reposition this. I'll kind of twist it, straighten it out, and bend it and mount it right here. And then I have this line that goes into the bottom of what the original C5, C6 power steering reservoir. So what I'm thinking of doing is just kind of, mounting this right here, the front of the radiator, so it clears the air intake, but also gives you a good spot to output the lines. One coming from here, the return line goes in right there, and then this line will go in right up over there. So it's pretty straightforward. It looks like it may work. I just gotta come up with a fairly simple bracket, but that's it for today, guys. I appreciate you guys watching. More to come. We're just knocking stuff off the list. I'll get the lines ordered, and we'll get the rest of the trans lines taken care of, and then it's just a drive shaft, and well, man, I think we're pretty darn close to firing this thing up. So stay tuned, guys. Thanks for watching, and remember to hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Thanks. Take care.